It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome. We're back again with some more Pyramid Head gameplay for you guys. And this is definitely one of my most favorite killers in the game, man. I absolutely love this killer. It absolutely fits my playstyle perfectly. With that being said, we decided to run Nurse's Calling this time to switch it up and kind of see if I can get any Nurse's value. And I'm not going to lie, I feel like I never can get Nurse's Calling value. I don't know why. Oh my goodness gracious, she did not get hit by that. Now this is post-commentary. In the meantime, until I can actually get a new mic, hopefully you guys have been enjoying the post-commentary. Now, off the bat here, we noticed that I'm going for some pretty good shots here. I mean, I should have gotten the hit on the Kate when she dropped the pallet earlier, but I think I was a little too slow. But that's all right. We left trails around the pallet, so we will be able to get some torment on them if we need to. But we are using a bit of time to try to figure out where they could have possibly ran off to, because it's not like they really could have gotten far, but we also don't have a lot of time to linger and stay within the area. Now, we started to make our way toward the center of the map because that's where we would assume that the next survivors would possibly be, and then we considered going to the right side here with this gen is already about to fly. So we want to at least give it a kick so that we have at least some time, and then Claudette decides to camp the pallet and give me a really strong pallet, honestly. They really could have made that actually do something useful. And then she proceeds to actually lead me over to the rest of her team that's working on another generator. So we can go ahead and get a free hit on the Claudette right there. That is really good for me. And then we just go our way back around. We just continue to follow them, and then we can continue to another weak pallet. Doesn't really matter. And then we actually try to attempt the shot because it didn't seem like they were really paying any attention to me. But apparently they just heard the sound and just kind of guessed off of that alone. Now here's another time that we're trying to get another hit in, just try to get some pressure. And they completely zone themselves out, which gives us the free hit. And then we just continue to follow them. You know, Pyramid Head, definitely one of my favorites for that exact reason. We can manipulate them to do what we want them to do. And then we just go for the shot. Great job on my part. I kind of had anticipated they would do that. And I really think that that this definitely really shows like just the level. I really love Pyramid Head in that sense because it really shows, you know, how well you know the character. There's a lot of skill expression. We were able to use pain res, and it does blow up the gen that we're actually next to. So we have a pretty good defense here. You see them kind of trying to heal with nurses, but I think they might have saw me through the railing, so we were not able to actually get the hit there. But that's all right. Which I think that might be the only time in this entire match we actually get nurses value. So that is a bit unfortunate. Maybe on closer ranged maps, you know, maybe that will get you more value. But the only person that can actually go for the save is this one Claudette without having to trade. So we're leaving a bunch of trail just around the hook, so that they're going to have to, you know, step in it eventually in order to actually get the save here. We see them trying to cross on the absolute outskirts, which actually gives us time to try to attempt the shot, which they do actually go toward the jungle gym. So what we do is just try to keep them pinned there while we wait for somebody else to try to attempt for a save. And we do want to try to zone them out as much as we can to try to force a second state. Now, I would assume that nobody else would be attempting to go for the save, but it actually be one that is injured went for the save now, which is exactly what we wanted. We leave them on the ground, and then we go after the Yui again, so we can provide the most amount of pressure to leverage the game to our side. Now, because they wasted that pallet now, we pretty much just be able to just get the down because there's nowhere to go for them, which means we got 2 downs now, and then we can just pick up this one, put them on the hook, and then we can start to leverage the game even further to our side. They do end up getting the pickup, so I figure we put them over here in this basically almost dead area, you know what I'm saying, because there isn't a pallet for a little while, and then there's like a hill or something, so it's not the greatest. Once again, we got Nurse's aura, but we can't really capitalize off of it, unfortunately. We will break this pallet just to get rid of it, so we can create this corner of the map to be very dangerous. And then we also get some nurses there, but they kind of anticipate that I would go for the shot. And just kind of fly off. Now, we were able to at least kind of mind game them there, and I actually did end up shooting in the wrong direction, so that was my own fault there, but we do have I'm All Ears coming into play to give us extra aura, and then we just go for the shot because we know that we're going to have to curve around the pallet, and we got the shot, which is great. Now we can just go ahead and put them on the pain res hook, and it should blow up another gen for us, so it should give us a little bit more slowdown. And then that'll allow us to, continue to hold the game back while we can continue to take them out. Now, I would assume that they would probably be on this gen, but I didn't really attempt to actually go for the shot because of the fact that it possibly could get stopped by a corner of the map. Now, we do see the scratch marks. They're most likely above, kind of waiting on the window, so we just break down this wall just to make it a little bit easier to rotate, and then we'll just go make our way back towards the hook so that we're able to, once again, provide more pressure, because that is the idea here. Applying the maximum amount of pressure and leverage the game to our side. We quickly check on the gen. We notice that they're going to go tap it, so that's when we try to find our way up here. Now, the idea would be I probably could have attempted a shot, but we didn't actually go for it. I probably could have tried. It probably would have missed, maybe, potentially, just because there's a lot of space there, so it would be very easy to kind of see it coming. But we once again will go for the Kate now, or the Yui, I should say, because they are here, and we can at least start leaving a little trail, attempt to go for the shot, and then we actually land it. Now, they do get that speed boost from taking a hit, so it might have been overcome or something, because they made a lot of distance from the one hit alone, which I'm not sure if that's usually how much distance they make, but we also try to threaten by dropping it down. As you can see, them hearing the sound will make them want to fly off somewhere else, and then we start to leave a little trail in the middle of the shack, and then this one's coming in with trying to shine their light. We do end up getting that. We might be able to get the shot. We actually get a double hit there on a few of them. We try to capitalize off of this by going after them, but they're just clicking and losing their minds, and obviously this one's closing in for the pickup, so we're not able to really get anything to work there because they are able to just curve really hard around there. They're trying to attempt a blind, but we were already able to just get the execution, our final judgment, and then we can just continue to follow through with the Claudette here. Now, off of that alone, it does seem like they're just all falling apart because their first teammate is finally out of the game, and a few of them already have hooks. We threaten the window vault so they can go up the stairs, which is a great play on my part. Now, here is an area where I should have threatened it a little bit sooner. I actually attempted the shot there, but it did end up missing, and the pallet was already down anyway. So there wasn't really a threat, and there wasn't a lot of room for the shot to even go through anyway. But we do have I'm all ears. She's like clicking, losing her mind, really trying to bait a chase when she knows full well she's going to get folded. But either way, we still go through. I figure I have the ability to win this game as it is. I really have full confidence that we'll be able to win this. So that's why I attempted to continue with the chase here to see if I can actually get them into some trail and see what we can pull off. Now, I figured that was enough time invested. I'm going to go ahead and start checking on gens because I figure, yep, we already see some scratch marks, that there's somebody lurking behind the rocks there, so we just hold down our power just long enough and we let it go so we could bait them to run back in, and then we go for the shot there. Great shot on my part, I would say. Absolutely fantastic timing. We can continue to follow through here. They just pre-dropped the pallet for absolutely no reason, and then we can just continue to follow them upstairs into this area, which is a very difficult area for them to dodge. So that's why we actually shot slightly to the left there, so that because they're going to want to dodge, we knew that they would go left. And that was just due to the assumption, because a lot of the time when you see survivors dodge, they usually go for that left side toward the to that little I don't know what that was, what is that, a wagon? I don't even know what the hell was done there, but it was like some structure there that they like to go behind. So we know that that's going to be the case. They immediately start clicking, losing their minds. We could easily just allow that to be our pressure because they're going to keep following us. Because people with the survivors with the flashlights tend to want to go for saves. It's just a given. She's trying her hardest to avoid the trail, but she still stepped in it anyway. And we just continue to follow through here because we can actually get the Mori, I would assume, pretty soon. She'd go course vaults. We already knew that was coming. But they had balanced landing, so we try to threaten here so they get away from the pallet, and then we just go for the shot, which is a wonderful shot on my part. Now we just go ahead and put them in the cage for the maximum amount of pressure because I'm pretty sure we already used our pain res hook on them, if I'm not mistaken. And then because of that, that'll allow us to actually get an easy kill because they'll be out of the cage with no endurance, no dead hard, no deliverance, no second chances to speak of. And then that'll give us a maximum amount of pressure. Now we go ahead and kick this gen because it's already 99 and we want to at least create a little bit more slowdown to buy us more time. And I figure that just judging by the pathing, they're going to run to my left just because of the path I'm taking. That's what we're going to try to do, is cut off the angle here and potentially get a Mori if possible. Now we do get another double hit there, so that actually gets the down and the hit on the Claudette. The other one's trying to crawl under the pallet, but that doesn't work because we're going to go ahead and swing out of range so they can't get anything. They start teabagging some more. I guess this is their way of displaying that I am the best of the best, because they're already out of the game. So I guess, you know, because a lot of survivors like to do that when they're just like all hope is lost. They tend to just do that. They tend to give up and crouch spam a lot. So that already tells me everything I need to know. Their morale is all the way at the bottom. They're pretty much not going to make anything come out of this now. I did actually have the right prediction, but because I hesitated, it did end up getting them the free vault, but that basically means nothing, except behavior will say I hit a wall somehow, and then we just threaten here to, which we body block the pallet so they can't use it, and then we can go ahead and get a free pickup here. Overall, I would say I'm doing pretty well. Definitely could be a little bit better. Now, keep in mind we are using a controller, and I've seen some really fantastic flicks with mouse and keyboard, but obviously we are not really able to accomplish those kinds of flicks because of the fact that it is a different kind of. It just works differently than how it would in mouse and keyboard. But I still like the flicks are still possible, and I think people don't really know it, like realize that like flicks are still possible. But it's just very, you just need to have maximum sensitivity on your controller, obviously, like maxed out sense, and also you have to be frame perfect, unfortunately. Now, we get the down, which is really good for us, and I decided, why not cage them? It saves a lot of time, we get them out of the way, and even if they're working on a gen, they're still going to have to get off of the gen to even get the save in the first place. Now, the thing is, we have the pressure because it's a cage, so they won't have any endurance. So no matter what they do, we'll be able to get the down. Now I figure by the gen getting done on that right side, they're going to have to curve all the way around to the left, because that means that we now can zero in on where the cage has spawned. Now, just by anticipation, I just waited from here, and then we just wait till they get off, and then we knock them both down. get the double hit there, completely sealing their fate. Which I would say is honestly just fantastic game sense on my part. Absolutely fantastic game sense. Because I had assumed that if that's the direction they're running to, I can kind of guesstimate that they're going to be in that exact angle. And we did have the length in order to make it work, so with our range add-on. So that was really good for me. I'm really proud of that shot, and I'm glad you guys were able to see it as well. And thankfully, both of them have gotten hook states, so they won't be able to 4%. And then we can go ahead and move on to the next game. Here we are again with some more Pyramid Head on one of the worst maps. Golly. This map can be a little bit difficult to use with Pyramid Head because the hills can actually just eat your shot when you shoot it. So like it won't like go through. And it might eat your shot because of the elevation changes all over the map. Like got a lot of hills. So we have to definitely do what we can here. Now this area, pretty easy to do. Now we completely zoned him back into us by doing that, so that gives us a free hit because he's like, super scared. He loses even more distance because he started flying into a barrel, so this will immediately give us everything we need. We're gonna go ahead and try to go for the swing to pressure him so he doesn't actually vault. Then we start leaving the trail down, and then we just gonna get the knockdown because he doesn't have a choice. Either he walks to the left and I let go of my power, or he vaults it and gets down. So he pretty much was left in a really bad situation either way. Now you're going to see that I swap out Nurse's Calling for Gearhead. And the reason is obviously because like not only does it actually eat up a lot of the distortion stacks, because the way the distortion works, and I actually like had to look at my own survivors and perks and see what the heck it freaking does. It's every time there's an instance of aura reading. So Lethal Pursuer, for example, will be considered one instance of aura reading. But Gearhead, because it consistently keeps activating, because of the fact that, you know, it's every good skill check will give them aura. So over time, like once you get it hit in here and there, it's going to keep activating and then showing auras multiple times. So you only have 3 stacks pretty much every time. So Gearhead can pretty much eat it, as well as I'm All Ears and stuff like that can also help out. You know what I mean? Just every which way to get aura, pretty much, as long as you have multiple ways. can eat up a lot of stacks. Now we know where one of the survivors are, and we see another one over here. We're trying to go for the shot. And obviously we're just trying to stay in proximity here because they're not on the gens. Now we can get a free hit on at least one of them. He did fly out the other way because he was scared. And then we just continue to go after the Ash. Now the idea here is we just continue to focus on him. He may have dead hard. Yeah, he did. Yeah, goofball. We knew that was coming because why is he running and looking at me like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I used to call it the dead hard eyes because they always just be kind of like looking at you real longingly for a while before they start pressing their button. So I'm pretty sure he had dead hard. We'll find out in the game. Now, as you can see, another like they're really trying to brute force a save off of this. It actually started lagging, which you actually noticed there. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get the hook here. Now the problem is I think they tried to blind me. That didn't work. So that's a damn shame. And then we just take them over here to the hill so we can get a pain res stack because they're already getting gens done. And we got the arrows pointing behind me, so that means they must be doing something. But we go ahead and blow up the gen there. We know that somebody's behind me. Seems like it's going to be the Jane here, so we try to hide the light, go back out. She's just running way too far away, so we're not even going to try it. We just stay in proximity. We know what we need to do. We're going to get a quick hit on her as well, just so that everybody can take a hit. And then this one is going to fly in for the save. Now, I know I can't use my power there just due to the elevation, but we can still get a knockdown. And then what I'll do is actually get another pain res stack off of the Jane, put him on the hook, and then we can go right after the Ash, which is the idea. So, either way, we pretty much can win this. We see a lot of blood, scratch marks, so we know exactly where he's going. The idea would be get him on the ground, get him on the hook, or maybe get him into some trail, get a final judgment off, and we'll be good to go. We'll pretty much have everything we need in order to get him out of the way, and that's exactly what we want. So yeah, that is the plan. That is the plan. We continue to follow him. We have I'm all ears value giving us everything. Unfortunately, this area just doesn't have an opening. So we lose a lot of distance for that, which is really, really unfortunate, and that's one of the reasons why I just despise this map. But that's okay, because we now have everybody injured. At least 2 people have Torment. And the thing with Torment, if you guys don't know, is that if you cage someone and someone else, another survivor, comes up with Torment active and uncages them or takes them out, it removes both parties' Torment. Obviously, because one has been caged, but also because the other person who is opening the cage or saving them will remove it as well. So I try to manage around that. So that they're not able to remove it. Now I had figured he would go for the vault because he always does. You know, you kind of have to keep an eye on certain survivors and kind of keep up with their habits so you understand like what their strategy is and what they're trying to do. And we noticed that this guy always tends to go for the vault because when I had pressured it earlier, we had known that they would go for it that time. Now this one's going in for I'm assuming breakout or something like that because he did kind of fly out of my hand pretty quickly. So, which is completely fine. I mean, there wasn't a hook here anyway that I could use, and once again, just, no, that's just the swamp being the swamp. Like, there's just not any hooks for some reason. And that's just kind of annoying, but it's fine. Because even though, he's, like, wiggling free with, like, flip-flop or something, I already anticipated he would have to turn around and either go inside. He can keep nodding his head no, begging for mercy, but at the end of the day, we know that we're here to win. And this clown decided to try to go for something. We actually kind of look up in the sky just in case there's some kind of blind of something happening. And then we go ahead and hook this one for the second time to attempt to at least get another hook state, so we can at least use another final judgment, because it's a lot faster than having to hook them, a lot faster than having to do anything else really. So it's really just enjoyable. I absolutely love that about Pyramid Head. We could just eliminate having to carry the hooks all day long, because it can buy them extra time that just for free, because you have to not only chase them down them, and then have to pick them up and then drag them to a hook. It's a lot of extra time that people may or may not realize that they have or don't have if you're playing killer, unless there's a hook like directly next to you, you know. But Pyramid Head helps solve that issue, makes you a lot faster, makes you a lot more aggressive very quickly. She decided to like run directly in front of me. I'm assuming so I don't take her out of the game. But because she has Torment, now we can just go ahead and get a free shot there. She actually anticipated I'm assuming anticipated I would shoot that direction. I'm assuming. We try to hide the light as much as we can here, and we're going to go above to try to throw them off. But either way, I mean, what options do they have here? We're going to try to aim there and get the shot. Beautiful, man. And this is all game sense. And this one just is giving up as well. You know, it tends to happen when you're really just finessing them in every which way. It's inevitable. So we take them out another one with Final Judgment. You know, gotta give them all their judgments. And then we try to go ahead and give them a hook now. Now, obviously, due to, you know, survivor pettiness, you know what I'm saying, they like to leave their teammates, you know, on the hook all game. So we'll cut all that out because that's just what they like doing all the time when they're losing. They like to be petty about it. So we'll cut all that out and then we'll jump into the action. So we noticed here there's some scratch marks around Shaq, but thankfully we found Hatch pretty much right in front of us. So we can just go ahead and close that. And now all we have to do is pretty much just figure out where they're going to be. So we left some trail around the area just in case maybe they might close in or something like that. And ideally just kind of get a couple of trails around the loops and whatnot, because I would have figured that they would most likely be maybe in the lockers, judging by the pathing of where they were, because there was scratch marks leading toward the back corner of the map there. So I would figure that the other door is literally all the way across the map. But we don't, from where we are, we can see if the light is going up. Which does give me some time, but we're just staying within this range because we know that, yep, there they are. And here's the the Final Judgment, hopefully. Yep. Tries to go for the shot. We do end up missing, which is unfortunate, but that's all right because we still have the timer on our hands here, and then of course just going to go for the vault because that's the only option they have. And then I would just kind of follow through with just the angle of what they're going to do, cut off their angles. They have this pallet on the right, but we have our rights here, so we can just do that. Yep, block it and then knock her down. So now we can just hit him with the cage, and then now we can go ahead and quickly take a look at the builds as well, out of curiosity, just to see if Ash did have the dead hard, because I'm pretty sure he did, but I want to make sure that he did, just to really make sure we sauce on him. So let's go ahead and see what they brought here. And then we'll close out the video for you guys. So he, in fact, did have dead hard. And it was 2 P100s, one had distortion. So that explains why I didn't see I'm all ears with the Fang. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video.